All right.
All right.
Holy shit. Okay.
Here we are.
We're back again, you guys. My name is Kim Congdon. This is my co-host.
Alex Scarlato.
And welcome to Broad Topics.
Woo.
We're really excited today because this is really cool. I don't know if you guys have known this, but I moved to New York recently from LA, and my love of my life, ex podcast partner, ex Kill Tony associate, ex writer, counterpart, lesbian lover, Sara Weinshenk is here.
That's right. Kim carried my bag up the stairs for me.
I did. It didn't take very long for me to become your boyfriend once again.
Yeah. And to instantly get annoyed with me for... so our relationship is as strong as ever is what we're saying.
She had to change her jacket to go to the deli a block away. You guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, there's strangers everywhere. I'm trying to make
her
a good
reason,
impression.
Aesthetic purposes. I'm like the deli guy. I go in like I go in like literally like with cum still on my face after having sex into that deli. Like,
and they still love you.
They love me even more. Actually,
I thought that I was just high when they said your name because they're like something Kim.
No, they know my name.
And then I was like, no, they definitely said.
Because then you heard me go, yeah, thanks, Q.
Yeah,
I'm like on first.
Yeah, it was like, okay, she's definitely established like some type of life here. Like she's
been here for like 6 weeks.
She's like on a first name basis with the people at the deli and gets everything from there. So
I do.
She's living her best life. As like, if anyone's wondering, she's living her best life.
You guys, I'm doing okay.
There's a lot of value in knowing your local deli owner, so I think it's a good thing.
There really is.
I just want to get a a local deli.
Yeah, it's a good thing to get. It's a good thing to have.
I mean, I already feel like I've been in New York for not even like 2 hours maybe, and I do like it already.
It's great.
Yeah.
The weather warmed up a little bit for you. You got lucky. I came in the dead of winter like a fucking fool, but it's going to be fun. I think it's cool. What should we talk about? Oh, you know what I want to talk about? What I did today.
I want to hear all about what you did today.
What did you do today?
Today I did DMT.
Oh, let's get into that.
Yay. Okay, can I just first say that I've been dying to try DMT like for the longest time, and I'm super duper like everything you say I'm gonna have low-key jealous vibes this whole time.
First you should know that like, okay, so with DMT, like they have things with DMT. For those of you who don't know what DMT is, I'm not really sure what it is either.
Chemical.
It's a chemical that's found inside every living thing,
and it's released when you die.
It's inside plants, it's inside animals, inside everything.
Literally,
it's inside
grass,
everything. trees,
so, bacteria.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Everything has DMT.
It's a naturally occurring chemical in all living things that's released when you die.
Yes,
and they say it's also released when you're born. I think, like when you're born and when you die, which is pretty crazy.
That's really cool, and probably it's the same thing.
Yeah,
okay. Not to get too deep.
Well, yeah, it's like this.
I just hit the joint.
Well,
and
it does
like,
make
and it's
sense.
Probably the same thing, and time's not real.
I know
and we're
exactly
all
what
just
Kim's
drifting.
trying to say. She's trying to say that it is like this vessel to another, like
a portal to another dimension.
Whatever you're doing, you're going.
So
somewhere.
so coming into the world, it's sort of a DMT trip. Leaving the world is a DMT trip, and then when you smoke DMT,
it's definitely a DMT trip.
Yeah.
So they have things with DMT like called breakthroughs, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you smoke enough of it.
Later.
And the thing with DMT is you have to be very, very particular in the way that you smoke it. Like, you can't just burn it like you do with weed.
Hold it in your mouth, right, and everything.
It can't even be burned.
I have someone who, I guess apparently he like guides people on DMT trips because he has a lot of experience supposedly. And
he's just some dude at Burning Man.
Yeah, basically. But
Coachella.
He's like really
Mike, everyone's spirit mentor.
He's like a little self-righteous. I don't know. He's my friend's friend. She's like, he has DMT, but he refuses to just give it to people. He needs to be there with you because he doesn't want it to be used incorrectly.
Oh yeah, it's like you have to respect it. It's like a whole thing about DMT. You have to like really like. I did it with my boyfriend, and Lewis and I like made sure that we were like in a good place. We had went into a spa before and like we like cleansed
Kim's
ourselves.
always going to a fucking spa.
I've been going to spas.
When I got here, she was at the spa because I came early for the first time in my life. For some reason, my flight landed early. This bitch stay at the spa.
I do love a spa. That's hilarious. I'm the trashiest bitch at a spa always.
It's like, where are you? She's in like some like random Asian spa somewhere.
I promise you, I've never been the classiest one at the spa.
It'll make you feel classy among
listen,
all the classy people.
If you want to like talk class, I went to an acupuncture school for acupuncture recently. I went to 2 different acupuncture schools. I eventually found the one of my liking. It has the word dong in it.
It was ITT Tech.
It's just like the whole thing. It's called like ITT Tech Acupuncture Wing. The acupuncture program at DeVry.
Like, it's an online school acupuncture? You just have like holes all over your body?
It's just like, no. So the first one was terrible. Worst case scenario. But now I found this new place and it's fucking the shit. It's
Wait, you had a worst case scenario acupuncture school?
Yeah. Okay, you want to know what happened? It was so bad, dude. Fucking get there. And like there's a major language barrier, right? And we have to go through like this chart of like all of like your body parts and shit. And this fucker starts asking me about my shit and it's like there's a language barrier. And he's like, consistency? And I'm just like, I don't want to talk about the consistency of my shit with you, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying.
I don't want anyone talking to me during any spa treatment.
I was like,
I was gonna say I don't want anybody talking to me with an accent.
Yeah,
I mean, see you in hell, sister.
It's also like let's learn the basic words,
but like
of the thing that you're doing.
Also, just like
it's true. The order that you just put in for food 20 minutes ago was out of control. It just on the topic of like,
oh yeah,
lack of communication between people.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean,
Kim spent 7 minutes putting in 3, like just an order for 3 very simple things
like
that were
burger,
on the menu.
Sandwich, taco.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Wow!"
No, but like I feel like people are just losing it, man.
Okay, so wait, we got off track. So DMT.
Okay,
so
what I was going to say is that I think to a certain degree with like all hallucinogenic drugs, it's important to like have that level of like respecting the experience and not treating it completely
time and setting, right? Or people and setting.
At least not treating it as something that's entirely
just whimsical. Like it can be like eye opening, but I guess
not treating it like sacred. How you would be like, bro, let's do this.
It's like I'm looking for a particular word. It's like you're not treating
it's like sacred. Because you're using it as medicine to have like an enlightenment or some type of experience. Yeah. It's like it's not just like people who do a bunch of coke and like get wasted. It's like a different experience because you're opening yourself up to like receive something from you don't even know from where, like the ether essentially.
Yeah, or like a chemical.
Or a chemical that's found in our bodies when we're born, when we die. Like, what is that?
Yeah, so I don't even think that I had a breakthrough. Like, I definitely didn't, I didn't take enough, certainly. But it definitely, I'm glad that I did it because I did trip. It was to the point where, I was we did it in a vape pen, and I was saying this before, DMT can't even be burned. Like, when you smoke DMT, you're supposed to, pack it in between things, like in between tobacco, in between weed, in between lavender leaves, in between rosemary, and then it's supposed to just it's supposed to just be heated until it's only the smoke that you're smoking. So we vaped it, and I was hitting it, and I took one hit. It was fine. It's got a really bad smell, really stinky smell, and I want to get into that in a second. But I took one hit, let it out. I took another hit, let it out. I took another hit. On my third hit, my whole body started tingling. Like it was starting to go numb. And I took the third hit and let it out. And I remember...
Was it vibrating? Like, could you hear it tingling? Or was it just physically...
No, it was just physically tingling. It felt like what I would imagine if you did heroin with a needle and you could feel it instantly warming your body. Going over you.
I just did that with a longing.
Because
for some reason.
That's what it is.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
The heroin reference makes it dark.
Well,
but,
it wasn't dark. Like,
maybe just because I'm high.
Did you
Even
have
like
visuals?
a calm relief? Like it's just like you can't control that.
the good
fact
part,
that,
the
like,
good part. No, it was just
Okay.
literally what they say about heroin is like you see someone on a video, like they put it in, and then all of a sudden they go. And you
Yeah.
see how instant. I mean, the
Yeah.
instant, like how fast it was, is what I mean.
Yeah. Well,
No,
okay.
I just so I took the hit, and as I'm blowing it out, I'm feeling like a warmth come over me, almost as like my whole body's getting warm and I'm getting sleepy. It was scared me at first because it kind of felt like what would happen if like someone was going, okay, we're gonna euthanize you, and that heavy
Jesus.
sleepy. It was like a nice
I could
warm
see
where like
that.
you have to let go.
Is that
Yeah,
the way
that's
they
what
warn you
everyone
before
says.
euthanization? Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna euthanize
Everyone-
What did I
you.
say?
You're gonna. Okay, now we're gonna euthanize you.
Hold on, Gregory. Hold on for a second. We're gonna just euthanize you.
But it's gonna be
Hang
great.
tight.
You're gonna learn a lot. Now get over there and we'll euthanize you, and it'll be fun.
Did you have visuals, Kim?
Yeah. So okay, instantly as soon as
I
I,
understand
felt
what
that,
you mean though. Like it just completely took over. Like you couldn't fight whether or not you were high. You were like transformed into like another place.
yeah,
Okay.
and like the second that I felt that, I told Liz, I was like, let me do one more because let's see, like, because so I did one more.
What are
and
your feelings leading up to this point about it? Are you scared? Are you
at this point, I had taken one hit for fun a few hours earlier and gotten a little bit of that warm feeling, so I expected it this
Okay.
time, and I was like cool with it. So I'm like cool going into it this time. So I take it, I do one more, and as I'm blowing out, I just let the whole room looks like if you know how you have like a white light, if you put a piece of plastic that's clear, like a pink piece of plastic, the whole room will get like pink, like the light will turn pink.
Yeah, like
the whole room turned a hue of orange. Like if someone took all the lights in the room and put like orange over it, like an orange filter.
got, like,
Orange
a gel?
over the
Yeah.
light. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole room, it was like in a flash. It was just like orange, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna close my eyes, and it kind of felt like after I came back, I was only closing my eyes for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And it wasn't crazy visuals, and I think it's because I didn't take enough. It kind of my visuals were strong, but like strong in a way that like if you were it looked like I was tripping hard, but everything I was looking at was behind a sheer curtain. Like it was teasing me. Like it was going like,
it
look
wasn't-
what's behind this curtain if you just
Okay.
go a little
So
farther.
I've heard that there are like literally they classify it as
Yeah.
being like different tiers of a trip.
I
So,
definitely
like,
I didn't
stages-
leave this dimension.
the-
yeah,
that's
so
for-
that you probably were on like the first tier, and then the second tier would be like you're no longer even in the physical space that you were in when you took the hit, and then
Yeah,
from what I hear,
there's
the
just this-
third tier is like meeting entities and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally. That's I've heard that too, and I also think that there's the number of tiers that there are also corresponds with Tibetan Buddhism, like the different
interesting.
stages of death. Like in
Whoa.
Tibetan Buddhism, there's different stages of death.
Oh, that's in
So-
Kabbalah too. It's like different levels of enlightenment
call
when you
it
die.
bardos.
It just depends on where you are when you die in your own head.
Yeah,
like if you're like a bad person,
on your
you're
path
still in the
to
first tier.
enlightenment.
Yeah, you know how it kind of comes from the same thing as when people say like, "Oh, this ghost is stuck because he has
like,
unfinished
trapped between
business."
those dimensions. Like, yeah, there's just supposedly like levels after
So
you
scary.
die of like different places that you could end up,
And
in
it just
different
gets
stages.
better.
But the thing is, it corresponds.
That I could believe so much better than any religion that my parents tried to teach me as
Well,
a
if
kid.
you think about it,
it's all like energy and just like what you're putting out.
I read
there
this somewhere.
Comes back.
Religions are a bunch of fingers pointing at the same moon. It's all the same moon.
Yeah,
Which is a bunch of different
100%,
fingers.
I believe that.
It's all the same shit. Every religion talks about how there's, you get to the highest point, and that is like, that's the same thing we're talking about. There is a highest point or whatever.
Yeah,
Who
it's
knows,
like
but-
it's all the same story, just with different names. But
Yeah.
like then we fight about it, and it doesn't really make sense.
no, and then,
But-
yeah, it's fucked up. It's weird.
Yeah, like so there's this book, it's called The Tibetan Book of the Dying, The Tibetan Book of the Dead. And like Timothy Leary and these dudes who were experimenting with acid and like psychedelics in the 70s at like Harvard, they used the Tibetan Book of the Dead as like a guide like for their different like trips. So like that would kind of be like how they could get further and deeper into their trips.
Whoa.
So I wonder what it would be like to like do DMT, like if you would
And
be
try to
able
get deeper
be,
and deeper
like-
into the levels.
yeah, and like
This is like some player number 2 shit or whatever the fuck that movie
yeah,
that
'cause,
failed
like,
is.
I had like a really weird shroom trip before that had
It's
like
number one.
weird shit. Like,
Player number
Oh
one.
yeah.
so what else did you see?
Okay, so it was like So just so you know, my visuals seemed like they were behind a sheer curtain. Like I could see how cool they looked, but it was almost like teasing me to come further. Like
That sounds like something like if I were you in your position, I swear to God, I would be like trying to get my hands on DMT so I could do it tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
So you could go
just
back
to
and
pass
visit.
that like curtain.
But
and
like
see what's
maybe
there.
she's not supposed to pass that curtain yet.
Yeah, I feel like it's
You know
like
what
it
I'm
happens when
saying?
you're ready. You know what I'm
Like, I
saying?
don't think-
No,
like
that's
you-
always true for sure. But still, I would have the itch, like just to be like, I
it
was so
good.
close. You know?
I think it was good that I got this close because it's put me in a really good place to do it again. And I think
That's
it's
true.
only
Well, you
going to
know
make
what
my
to
next
expect.
trip really good because my heart was like, you could physically see it pounding out of my chest before I tried it because DMT was like the only drug I said I'd never try besides heroin and like crack and like
Kim,
really gross drugs. But
Well,
like,
like
next time you find DMT,
Heroin
first
and
of all, I need you to. I'm gonna need you to let me know
I'll let
how
you
to
know.
get some.
we'll take a look around. Not that we would ever buy DMT.
Ever or
Um,
use
you can't
it.
even find your debit card. How are we gonna find DMT, crazy bitch?
It's
hilarious.
so right.
I
Your
mean,
card is lost somewhere before us.
it's probably underneath my fucking huge fucking luggage.
Who knows?
Who knows? Is right.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I did see. I had visuals. I had so many visuals in a matter of 4 minutes.
Were they like
they were out
in
of
different places, or were they just like flashes of?
it looked
in
like
a
my
dream?
mind was a black blank slate.
You should
slate,
write
right?
all this down while we're recording it.
Well, we're recording it, yeah. So my mind was like a blank black canvas, right? And I could look to the left and there was just infinite room for me to see things.
That's awesome.
Okay, so there's just like a bunch of room, and it's like I look down, and it's kind of like
a bunch of rooms.
no,
Or
just a
of
room,
space?
Like
just a bunch of
space.
black
What
space,
color?
black right now.
Emptiness,
Oh,
basically.
that's
And
like
the
some Stranger Things.
And the
shit.
first thing that happens is it kind of looks like someone's holding a wet toothbrush above the black space, and something black is dripping or water's dripping from the toothbrush, and it looks like black water is dripping into the space and making the space blacker. Like if you hold black paint
that's
on a
crazy.
black piece of paper and you
you thought it was as black as could be until this darker drip came through.
yes, and everything got blacker.
was
And
it pretty?
No, it was just dark. And then it's like one of those things where you're laying in bed and you're
That's a
trying to see
lot.
things and it's black, but the sun's out. So it's like kind of like making things yellow. So then I focus
Are
on
your
these
eyes
yellow
closed?
things. My eyes are closed. Yeah. And this
Okay.
is in the daylight. And then so I start seeing I sort of start seeing things almost like strong imagination is how I could describe it. A very strong daydream. Like,
But were you actively
any
conjuring
moment I
the
could-
thoughts, or were like I know that you could break out of them, but were you conjuring the thoughts, or were they just sort of
They were
coming
just
to
sort
you
of-
streamlined?
it almost feels like you think you're conjuring them and then you're going, no, my thoughts are never this rapid and this
Yeah.
vivid. And there was just so many things happening at every corner. Like to my left, it was like I saw a group of penguins and they were all just waddling. Just like a group of penguins.
really like that part of your trip.
but this
it
is-
makes me want to go take that exact.
But I didn't tell you the rest of the penguin thing.
Oh,
In the
no.
front of the penguin
were
pack, there was a
withholding?
man, and he was pretending to be one of the penguins.
Yeah.
and I could see every time he smiled, his teeth were glowing green, like he had a glow stick in his mouth. It wasn't scary. It was just like this. I was like, oh, he's not a penguin. He's just pretending to be. And that was like a thing that I saw. And then I looked straight
Glowing
ahead.
mouth.
Yeah, he had a
What
glowing
color glow?
green, neon green, like he put it
That
like he
sounds
broke a glow
so,
stick.
Like so far, what you're saying sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Like
Then
penguins
I
and
looked
a
straight
man with
ahead.
a mouth that's glowing.
And straight ahead was a Native American man who looked a lot like Pocahontas' father in the cartoon.
That's
That's
what I was
always what I
envisioning when-
picture when anybody says. Is that what you were going to say
Yeah,
just
like
now?
that's exactly like.
I guess that's like what we have. Like we all grew up around Pocahontas days.
Oh, that shit's so good. I'd like to watch some Pocahontas.
So then I looked straight ahead and I saw
I haven't seen
him.
that in a minute.
I saw a man that looked like him, and all that man did was take a bite of a celery stalk. And it was just a Native American man, and he took a bite of a celery stalk, and I was
Okay.
like, okay. And
It sounds
and
like
every
you're tripping pretty hard, Kim. You're acting like you weren't tripping that hard, but like
She's like, yeah, I think it worked.
But it
I couldn't break through.
It was.
You didn't break
and then
through,
she's
right? Like, you saw a man leading a pack of penguins.
Oh,
With
but
a
the first thing.
glowing
Oh, I
green
gotta tell you
mouth.
about the first thing. I gotta tell you about the first thing. When my eyes were still open in the room and the room was turning red, it looked like it started raining in the room, but it started raining a language.
Okay,
it was like an alphabet.
But this is my
That's
question.
cool. So you're seeing like
Wait.
binary or something?
I don't
Can
know
I
what it
tell you
was, but
that,
I
like,
knew what it was when I was
happened
looking
to
at
me.
it.
That's happened to me before, but my question is, what kind of text was it? Because I've seen it where it's like Sanskrit, and then
know.
I've also seen it where it's just like regular.
It looked like from far away. It looked like regular letters, but
And
the
then would
closer
they
I
break
got,
it?
Guys,
Would
I
they
have
go like
never
this?
gone that deep. I am so jealous.
Well-
I love tripping, and I've never gone nearly
But you know
that
what?
deep.
It was
I've had that
it was
experience
so quick.
many times.
It wasn't like I even got to look at anything for more than 2 seconds. These are all things that popped up. I see them,
Okay.
they went away. They pop up, I see them, they go away. They pop,
That's
I see them,
a
they
tough
go
part
away.
Are they, like,
sometimes
what
when
if
you're
they,
like,
like,
I
your
want that
past
back
lives?
for a second.
Yes.
Are they like your past lives?
I don't know. What have I said so far? Native American,
That'd be trippy.
a penguin,
A penguin ringleader.
a penguin ringleader, me glowing with a glow stick in my mouth.
You were like, what if you were like a showman that like did
What
tricks
was
with
the other thing I
penguins?
said?
You brought the penguins to the circus.
The Native American man that's like Pocahontas' dad.
Oh, the alphabet or the weird. Okay, so then I looked down and okay, this is a weird one.
That
I
would
can't
make
really.
sense if
the
that's
walls,
what it was.
the walls. I could see oil slick too. You know when you look at a puddle in the street and it has the oil from the car and it's got like that rainbow slick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there was like
iridescent.
that on the walls, like dripping like that.
like iridescent rainbowish.
A little bit, yeah, but it was all a very little bit. I could just see it slightly. Like it wasn't enough to be like I saw. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think you have like a first tier, but like solid first tier.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I've never done TMT. I've just read so much about it because I'm so interested in it.
Yeah, and then I saw this one's hard to describe. It was like shapes on top of each other, like a triangle, and they were like just lines, not filled in, like hollow shapes, like a triangle on top of but they were colorful, like a neon pink triangle on top of a yellow square on top of a blue
Sounds
circle,
like
and then
some
they were
cool
spinning
art.
so fast that they were going flat. They
They
were
were
spinning so
three-dimensional.
fast that they were going. Yeah, they were 3-dimensional, but they were spinning so fast that they were going flat on top of each other.
I'm about to go home and do I'm doing all the mushrooms like tomorrow night just because of this conversation. I swear to God.
Yeah, and then so they were going flat, and I remember for some reason thinking that it looked like the layers of a cake, those rainbow cakes, when you cut them
That
open.
sounds so beautiful.
and it looked like that.
But what did you like? What do you make of it? Like, what did you at the time? Like, what was your emotional experience of it? Because that's what always the most fun part of tripping to me is like
What
just
do you take
this
from it?
really
didn't get
weird
anything
shit in
from
front
it.
of you, just like toast or whatever it is, and you being like, "Oh yeah, I get it. The universe is toast." Like, but you actually feel something in that moment. Do you know what
Or
I mean?
do you feel like it was cold and alien like? Because
I don't
I've
feel
heard-
like it was
I've
cold.
heard that other people say that it felt cold to them.
No,
and
it
they
was
felt
warm.
scared.
It wasn't even
Did
like
it seem
anything.
like-
I was warm because I was laying in a warm bed. I knew that
But
my
could
body
they
was in a
see
bed
you?
still. I don't know who they is because like the things
you
I
could
was
see
seeing.
them.
No
but
one
they
could see me.
You?
No one could see me.
Okay, that's interesting.
It looked
They
like
say that, yeah, sometimes like the beings could see you, which
No,
would
it looked like
maybe frightened
in a
me.
movie where it, like something fades from black and then goes away, like almost like if they're doing like in remembrance of. So it was like a Native American and he took a stalk of corn and then he faded away. Like
yeah. That what if that is like your past lives or some shit?
I always felt like I was like hella Native American, like running barefoot in the woods.
I'm trying to see my
Pocahontas
fucking
life.
past lives, bitch.
I like to think that for some reason, like rather than past lives, I think of it as this thing of like when you're tripping, you get to experience all of the different perspectives. So like you get to
Yeah.
jump between perspectives and get this encompassing view of the world.
Yeah, it does make you feel more connected to like everything and everyone.
Yeah.
Like I remember after I did acid for the first time, I got back from like having like the best trip ever, and it was like like the most positive experience. And it was the first time I did acid. I get back and I go to like this bookstore, and my boyfriend at the time was like why do you want to go to that bookstore? And I'm like, I just feel creatively inspired. I need to get some like coloring books or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking in this fucking bookstore, and I'm gone for like a long ass time because I meet a stranger who's like, I have a bunch of art supplies in my car. Do you want them?
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like,
This is how to kidnap Sarah, by the way.
Yeah. And I call, and then my boyfriend's like, where the fuck are you? What are you doing? And I'm like, I met someone in the bookstore who is giving me a box of art supplies. And he was like, what? You're crazy. You're just like, with some guy that you met in the bookstore? And I was like, yeah. I felt like I should go. I mean, it was like takes acid.
Were you okay?
Once, yeah, it was totally fine.
Sarah loses her mind on acid. We did the first time I did acid. It was with Sarah on my birthday. I'm telling the tent story, and we're all on acid.
Yeah.
We're all on acid, and Sarah's like so cute. She took 2 tabs and I took 1. So she's out of her mind. Fucked up on acid.
I love acid.
Yeah, we were having a great time.
It was fun. It was crazy.
It was crazy. We were having a great time, and it's my birthday. So she collects everyone from the campground, including people we just met that night. Like, she's like, everyone come in the tent. I think there was like a cake with candles or something. And so it was just the tent lit up with candles. I'm on acid. Everyone's singing me
fucking drug.
happy birthday. I'm so happy. It's like so cool. All these like people on acid are like, happy birthday to you. And they look smelly. Like they smell like armpit. It's so fun. And
this is actually exactly what it was like.
Sarah,
I'm picturing it.
So I blow out the candles. Everyone's clapping. They have like cell phone lights so you can see still. And then Sarah's like, open your present. Open your present. I go to grab the present. I just pull out a pair of dirty underwear in front of everyone. She goes, no, not that. Those are mine. I just pulled out her dirty underwear like in front of the crowd. Like presented them.
Did you wrap the? Did you like give it to her by accident on acid?
I don't know how they got in there.
I know how they did because I'm like a little all over the place, and like sometimes like I always want to bring everything, and I can't bring everything all of the time. So like shit gets lost in the process. Like so, a lot of times I'll bring, like, identify with that. Of bow ties and just like throw them in my bag.
Oh my God!
Like and then later I'm like, why do I have all of this? This is like it was insane people do. This is not, and somehow imagine being on acid and showcasing your dirty underwear and your friend's fucking birthday present.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That's
got me underwear. I'm like, no, those are mine.
And everybody's like, oh, happy birthday to you.
And that's when it got weird.
The fucking the first time I did acid, I went to. I don't know if I told you this story before, so stop me if I did. But like, I went to this private music festival in like near Penn State in Pennsylvania, and by private I mean it was like this guy's birthday and he had to deal with the police and he had like a lot of property and he was like, I'm gonna host a music festival. Yeah, like I'm gonna host this music festival every year and you're just not gonna come on the grounds. So like me and a bunch of friends drove up there and it was just like
a festival just for my friends,
unlimited acid. But there were no tickets or anything. Like it was
like a band.
It was the sketchiest thing that I've ever seen. Like I can't even imagine how many like guns. There was no security. It was really, really sketchy. Everybody was sleeping in their cars and stuff. But we took like a ton of acid and Jesus Christ, I don't even know where to begin. Like there were literally.
How much did you take?
I took 2.5 tabs maybe. I think I split 5 with a friend. And like it was this scenario where it was like this fucked up version of a carnival. It was like an adult carnival where there were people
experience. I felt like that.
People like waiting online like, and you get to the front of the line and this guy just fills you up 2 balloons, but they're just whippet balloons, and like people are walking away just like so pleased with their whippets, and it was just this crazy fucked up bizarre carnival, like this
crackhead carnival.
Literally there was a guy like dressed like a Viking offering apple cider like to trade his weed for apple cider. It was crazy. It was bananas.
I had a dream that I went to a crackhead carnival with Kim.
And was there a giant fire there? Because this one had a giant fire.
It was like a crackhead festival, and I was like, Kim, can we leave? Can we leave this festival?
Crackhead festival.
That's so hilarious. Weird, and it was like a fucking circus vibes.
Yeah, no, it was it was such circus vibes. Weird. This girl who I was there with,
it was a nightmare.
Okay,
that's weird.
Randomly, this on one end of the campgrounds, this girl was like in a panic, and she was like, "I found this bag. Who wants it? Anybody want it? I don't want it." And I was like, "Whatever, I'll take it." And like, literally 4 hours later, met up with my friends on the other side of the place, and like a friend of mine was desperately looking for her bag that she had lost hours and hours earlier.
And this is all very theatrical if you're on acid, what you're telling
Well,
me.
yeah,
Like,
I
it's
mean,
all, like, it already
was-
sounds like a weird, intense situation, but then you factor in, you're, like, 2.5, maybe 3 tabs deep. That's, like, a lot.
I mean, there's like at least 2,000 people at this place, and this stranger hands me this bag, and then like 4 hours later, I end up giving it back to the girl who it was her bag, and like she kind of traveled there with me. It's just really weird. I don't know if I'm a good storyteller, but like when shit happens on acid, it feels like so serendipitous.
Shit feels weird on acid.
I also, like, it's just weird.
You should have seen Sarah on acid. She wore an outfit like this. And
I like this outfit.
But it was at
Outfit.
Joshua Tree when we were all camping. So we're all in like
I brought
camping.
many outfits.
Okay, she brought many outfits like this.
changed-
She brought a bumblebee dress.
Yeah, like, my ass is just out.
So
like,
it was
It was so much fun to dress crazy on
her
acid.
ass
First
was
of all.
fully out.
I know.
She was in a thong in these skirts climbing the rocks.
I don't know what
at
I was
Joshua
doing.
Tree.
I lost my mind.
So so we were like hiking up these rocks, like tennis shoes, like actually
Other
like
tribe, Sarah. Hold on.
like hiking up these things. Like it was a hike to get up these rocks, and this trippy thing on
Sounds
acid.
like scary when
Yes.
you're on acid. Yeah.
Well, and when I was on acid, I was having this
when
weird
the
trip
rocks
where the
kind of are. Yeah.
they look like
They
open
look-
mouths to me. They look like we were climbing in and out of skulls.
Yeah, it does look like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fucking
In
adventure,
Joshua
guys.
Tree.
I want to trip.
Have you been
right
to Joshua
now.
Tree?
No.
Oh,
you would
it's
love
so it's
Joshua
like
Tree.
you would fucking love it. It's like you should definitely go there.
But yeah, so it was like a hike up these rocks. We'd be like shaking and get to the top, and then
There
I'd
are
look
moments
down.
where you're like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was like really signed up for this.
Well,
I
and
can't
also-
believe I'm on acid doing this.
Yes,
Like,
you're like
this is what you're not supposed to do. Like your parents are afraid you're
that's
doing.
what you're
Taking
thinking.
acid
That's
and
what you're
climbing
thinking.
rocks.
That's what
Yeah.
you're thinking. This is the thing I shouldn't be doing on acid is hiking on rocks.
totally.
But it
So-
makes sense actually. But go on.
Yes. So we'd get to the top of these things and we'd like sit down and like all share water because we're like tired. And I'd look back and Sarah would be like in like this, an outfit like this, and like I think heels too, like I think boot heels. And she was like all fours running like, and I mean like 65 miles an hour up these rocks. Like, I mean, perfect posture. I mean, sprinting. There was a man in hiking gear with like a belt and he was like climbing these rocks like hiking on these rocks and like and she was flying past
No,
him.
because everyone was calling me a mountain goat, and because also for like a while after that,
It was scary. It was
like,
tripping me out.
enough of that kind of
Dude,
shit,
she
too.
looked like a fucking animal in a skirt flying, and you could
everyone
see her
was-
ass. Like she was so free.
You were just like channeling some energy,
no,
like
no, no.
animalistic thing.
The
I'm telling you-
craziest part, the craziest part is she'd get to the top, and you'd think that she was using all fours at least, and she'd have a fucking LaCroix in her hand, and she'd be like, "Does anybody want a LaCroix?"
yeah, I was offering people appetizers
and
throughout.
then,
the
and then
fucking-
someone would be like, "I'll take one." And she'd be like, "I'll go get another," and she'd sprint back down the rock. She just kept coming up and down them. I was scared to go up once, and she was getting everyone individual drinks one at a time.
If somebody didn't want one, I'd get upset.
Oh yeah, you had to take one. There was no
I
choice.
was like,
I thought you were just enjoying the ride.
it was fun, but then I wanted them to do what I wanted. I'm like, you guys don't want one? Okay, well,
What about when you were like?
Just go get one for
Pocky?
myself.
No, she was like, "Oh, someone hand me a notebook and a pen." And we were like, "Oh shit, she's got something good." And she went over this corner and she was like scribbling to the point where we were like, "Should we leave her?" Like she was so into this fucking drawing. She's like whispering things about how time doesn't exist.
oh my god,
I swear to God.
this is so funny.
And then after like 30 minutes, she hands us the thing and it's just like scribbles. And she's like, "You see, Wes Anderson, Mario Kart."
I just kept saying the word Wes Anderson over and over again
She's like,
because
"You
I
gotta-
like the aesthetic of how that looks.
Wes
and
Anderson,
I'm very like aesthetic.
What if you
based.
what if you mix Wes Anderson video games? Guys, what if you mix?
Is that what you felt like you were in like a mix between
No,
Mario Kart and Wes Anderson
Mario
movie?
Kart,
No.
guys, like Mario Kart, Wes Anderson Mario Kart.
It's funny that I was saying that a lot because like Wes Anderson movies I really like because they're very like aesthetically pleasing, and recently I just started like I got a job doing like freelance like styling stuff, and I've always been very aesthetic based, but I never thought that I could do it and do stand up, but I actually can, which is really cool because I get to like do like I've been doing art direction on different projects, and it's really fun.
Sarah, don't change the subject about the fact.
But like no, but
Sorry.
this is what I'm saying.
On the
This is
mic.
what I'm gonna say. Like, cause in my head, I like the colors of that. I don't know why I kept repeating it. It's one of my favorite things to repeat over and over again. And
What else
anything
did
Wes
you do that
Anderson
night?
Makes me wet as fuck. That's all I'm
You know what
saying.
I did that night on acid?
No, Other Tribe Sarah.
Oh, Other Tribe Sarah. We have to tell you about Other Tribe Sarah.
Okay.
So there's this girl. She
So-
looked like Sarah,
But
but
wait,
like haggard.
Explain this. So like we went and we knew some people, but then there was like other people that we didn't know.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. I'm so high. Exactly where were we again?
Joshua
Joshua
Tree.
Tree. Okay.
We're at Joshua
Right,
Tree.
right, okay.
We're
For Kim's-
camping.
Yeah.
It's my birthday. We're doing acid.
This is all the same. Okay.
This is all.
This is all the same.
It was
thing.
a long night.
Acid will
Make
give you
sure
so
that
many
doesn't fall off.
experiences like that. That's
Yeah,
true.
it seems like in an hour you could have lived for fucking 7 years.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, when I was just like a fool at the beginning of the night an hour ago.
Yeah.
so true.
That's
Oh
what
my
it
god, that
feels
is
like.
so true.
Yeah.
Oh, an hour would go by and I've been like, it's been 4 days.
Yeah. It's so cool. That's
Sometimes you're like a few hours into your trip and you're like, I remember the happy times.
yeah. 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 I've had
Totally.
some bad trips
Totally.
too. Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
Wait, but explain Other Tribe Sarah.
Okay,
so
so-
then we didn't know everyone who came with us. So there was like, and we were like on drugs,
Yeah.
on shrooms. So it's like all of a sudden, like
so
they
there was
seemed.
this really hot guy.
So wait, this is shrooms or acid?
This is what were we?
You know,
on?
Other
Acid.
Tribe Sarah wasn't his girlfriend.
No, I know that she was just Other Tribe.
But we have
Sarah.
to describe this guy
Okay.
first. There was
Okay,
this,
wait. So there was this group. Basically, we already got into Other Tribe Sarah, so we should explain her first, and then we'll get into the
Okay,
other guy.
okay.
I don't
So-
understand
so-
any
okay,
of this
so
yet. Not
I know,
even
because it's like-
not the
Okay,
slightest.
you're
Let me
about to,
explain it.
bitch.
Let me explain it. Okay, so like it was us and like the people we knew, but then like other friends invited other friends, so we didn't know everyone.
we've already said this like 16
did?
times. Yes, you keep
We
saying
did?
that over
Okay.
and over again.
I'm
You guys were
manically
with some like
repeating.
friends and acquaintances.
So many
But, like,
times has she
like,
said
but
that.
this is what I meant.
Are you
Like,
okay?
No, I'm so high.
Okay.
So like all of a sudden the strangers really seemed like fucking strangers. It was like, oh, we don't know these people like at all.
Yeah, so we started calling them Other Tribe.
Yeah.
Like our
Like they were like
acid tribe.
aliens.
Like as you were as it was coming on, they started to feel really foreign to you. Like,
Yeah.
awkwardly
Yeah.
foreign.
Yes.
Okay.
We were like, get away.
Yeah.
And we were just nice to them for like hours
It just
before that.
was too much though.
I
They
got
were,
that.
But
there was
there was
like
this one girl, like, so Sarah was like running up and down. There's this one girl that was like a fat, gross Sarah. I mean, there's no
When you
better.
say that, like
there's
she
no
had the
nice.
same hair.
no,
like,
just like she was like running around being crazy because it seemed like she was
Imagine
also
Sarah-
excited to be outside, like how I was.
Imagine Sarah in a dimension a tier under us.
Like
One, a
lower-
tier, two tiers down.
Honestly, like if I was a product of inbreeding, Sarah.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
it
It
seemed
wasn't
like right? Didn't she just seem like
And she would come up and she'd like climb up this mountain. She'd be like,
she seemed like there could have been something wrong with her, or maybe we just understand what was happening. But also, it
and we
seemed
would be like, guys, Other Tribe Sarah's coming. 'Cause she was like,
because we were trying to understand her, and someone's like, I think that she's just like happy to be outside, like she's enjoying her trip, like kind of like Sarah, but we just don't understand her. So
she was
Other
like an
Tribe
alien
Sarah.
to us.
And it was
We
like-
treated her like a fucking alien. It was so mean.
it's so annoying because then like when you're tripping, you have to be kind of conscious about like
other
how,
people,
yeah, like how you're talking
Wait,
to
I
other people
couldn't.
because
I
you could
couldn't.
send them like off the rails. You could.
Speaking of off the rails,
I can't tell if I'm screaming or not.
I can't tell if we're screaming either.
I just ripped the headphones off so manically.
That was insane.
Kim just scared the shit out of me. She just like tore the headphones off.
She
and,
was like
stared into space for a second. Like she, I don't know.
She got her body, and then like
No, I
do
couldn't.
not sound so great.
we don't.
I mean, I'm like, we'll be fine. But
Well.
we're like 4 episodes in, guys.
And they know that we've sounded great every other
we
episode.
sound so good usually, and like you're so invested at this point. Like
You yeah.
this is just the trippy episode. Like it's in a little bit of sonic warp, maybe.
Yeah, some sonic warp.
I like it.
We filled the Zoom with DMT for this episode. That's
Wait,
what you're
so
hearing.
are we? So this is gonna be out on iTunes, right?
Yeah. We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
I
I was just trying to figure out what's happening. I was just high too.
Well, how long have we
Kim
been going?
Kim did like all of a sudden seem like she heard something outrageous in her headphone and then rip off her headphones with like in a fit of rage and like kind of borderline disgust.
Yeah,
I mean,
couldn't tell. I felt like I was screaming, and then I ripped them off, and I was quiet, and then I realized that I wasn't doing any sound anymore, so I wouldn't be able to hear if I was screaming.
I think that we were screaming because
We
I
were.
felt like we were being loud too.
I mean, we might be being
Or we
loud.
might
I
just
think we
be
might just be
high.
loud.
We're just girls.
Oh, we might be loud girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a loud girl.
Me too.
You know,
Loud girl.
you should
I-
see when Kim
I
and I
always
get into
blame it.
fights.
I
We
just
scream at each other.
blame it on being Italian, but like, yeah.
It's really funny.
Kim,
It's
when
never
you
not
when
funny.
you threw the chalkboard outside and you're like, get it. Hold on.
I have to fucking carry everything. You
Okay,
guys.
here's the thing. Like, I am, I can be dead weight in terms of like logistics and production. Like, in terms of like putting things into action and like lifting things and like screwing things in.
The
or, like,
organizational
anything,
stuff
like,
she's got.
I can
don't
make
have.
lists and charts for like days. I could like do that. But the other shit, I can tell you like what time someone's supposed to come and what time that we should send the car for them.
I threw a chalkboard outside, and I was like, either we throw it out or you take it.
I was like-
it's like this
was like-
$400 chalkboard we had just bought.
And I was like, then I'm throwing it out.
And
Just
then
like,
I went outside and I saw her packing it in her
Well,
trunk.
like, no, because-
we get into fights like a
because
couple.
we had like all this, okay, because for like Stone Science we had all this stuff, so we like were doing the logistic stuff, so it's like we would have to have like
the storage for
the
it, and then I was
fucking-
moving.
the test tubes and shit, and like we're just like it's like
We
a
always
mo-
had
that
science
is
stuff
like,
with us.
like a mobile like setup with like this like
Such not useful stuff
It's
to have
just
like in your apartment.
yeah, it's
we
like
couldn't use it.
Beaker bottles. And shit.
yeah, and
Just
it's
glass that can break
expensive.
that's expensive.
And we're like
that you can't put out or put anywhere.
And it's just a pain in the ass, but it's the whole set. It's all we have. So we're like having to transport it fucking everywhere all of the time for all of these different
never do it
episodes.
again.
You like get
Not
home
that
and
way.
like have to put everything on the table. It was like your
We-
test tubes and
Yeah,
your
and we're like, where's the
Petri dishes
experiments?
and stuff.
no,
Yeah.
we're never setting up that state.
Well,
that-
we did it. We did it.
Guys, I liked Stone Science.
thank you.
I
Thank
threw
you.
together your like I cut together that episode for you guys.
Oh,
and
cool.
I
You
was,
did?
yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe you asked Lewis to have it done, and then that goes.
Oh, thank you.
in
You
my
know what?
direction.
I guess this
I
is when
enjoyed
we
it,
just
though.
started
I
being
watched it.
friends. Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know how long ago was that.
like right before we started the show.
Oh yeah, because we had
No, we've
somebody
been friends
edit it.
before
We
that,
needed
then.
somebody to
A
edit
little
it.
bit, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. The
Yeah,
first
when-
time we had the first edit.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm
It was really good.
I'm really excited
It
about
was
it.
the one about dreams. I think
Oh, she's talking about the video podcast.
it was the video.
Oh,
podcast.
the video podcast. We're talking about the YouTube.
We're
Oh.
about to launch.
I
like,
saw the one. Yeah, I saw the one with Doug Benson.
It's
It was really good. Yeah,
Thank you.
It was awesome.
Did you just hear me burp into the mic?
No,
Cool.
but I love that you acknowledged it.
I mean, like I didn't. I heard it, but I didn't. Like my brain didn't process it.
You heard it?
I heard it now that you mentioned it, but my brain wouldn't have processed it because
It was a little grumble.
I mean, today at the airport randomly, I ran into one of my friends that I was like really good friends with for a lot of years. It was really weird. It was very surreal. It was like 5 a.m. this morning,
Are
and she
you, like-
upgraded my flight. I'm very
you-
excited about that.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds nice. I was gonna ask if you like enjoy when that happens, or if you like see the person and kind of like shy.
No,
away.
this was cool, but it was just weird. It was weird because I was thinking like it would be cool if I ran into her because I like was wondering how she was doing, and then I ran into her, and it's weird. It was very weird.
That's weird.
It was
Every time I
cool.
think about someone, they like call me or I see them.
There's like a weird sense of
That is crazy.
interconnectedness.
Does that happen to you a
in
lot?
that way.
It.
It happens to me constantly.
It doesn't happen to me that much, but like I kind of want it to. I want to like feel this synchronicity with.
Constantly.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think like from hallucinogens that I've like been able to take away is that like
Everything's synchronized.
yeah and
Everything.
and
Well, I know
everything's
that,
like
yeah.
in like divine like timing and just like in like when things are in this like a
We
state
sound
of
like
flow.
such hip.
I know, but it's like it's weird because it's like I feel like the like it makes you almost want to like get into spirituality as like a way to understand like our purpose, and it's kind of cool. But without that, would I be able to get into spirituality? No.
I was not interested whatsoever in religion or spirituality until I started doing acid in college. And like nowadays I do mushrooms. Like last 6 months I was doing like way too much mushrooms, and so now I took a break for like 4 months, but I think I'm ready to do it like this week after this talk. I swear to God, guys, like I fucking love tripping.
Sarah had a DMT like trip on mushrooms. Maybe you can ask her about how to accomplish that.
How do you?
I ate a lot of mushrooms, and then
What's a lot?
an eighth, half an eighth.
Half an eighth?
Is half an eighth like normal?
Half an eighth's what I normally take.
Yeah,
that's what I normally
take. I think
take,
a little
yeah.
more than half an eighth.
Yeah, I feel like that's a normal amount.
Yeah, that's
I think
normal.
An eighth is intense.
So you did that, and
I drank it in like a tea, and then but it was the type of mushroom supposedly that is like really amazing, and it's like my friend can't always get it. It's only sometimes, and it's like in high demand. There's different types of psilocybin.
You know what though? I've done a mushroom trip before where I've closed my eyes and had crazy.
That's kind of like what happened with that. Yeah,
crazy
so like
fucking visuals.
Crazy.
Crazy visuals.
One time it was a neon holographic animal, and it just kept transforming into every animal in the world.
I had a neon holographic cat that was like it started really small, and it would just like burst out in different colors.
A lot of
like,
people
the
see
shape of
cats.
a cat.
A lot of people see cats.
What? You want to know what happened to me? Okay.
Yeah.
My shit was fucking crazy. I saw like this pattern, but like it was like faint, and it had like a bunch of different layers to it, like a veil sort of, and like, but it was all these layers on top of each other, and it was like this like Sanskrit like text, and it was everywhere on everything.
That's weird.
Like on like nature, and I would get close to it, and I got close to it, and I fell into it, became it. And like then it was like insane. Like it sounds so crazy.
Me and Alex just looked at each other like,
I know. It's like
I became it.
it was like I looked at
I've
this
never
fucking.
tripped that hard. I want to.
But I think it was the type of mushroom, and
it
like
must have been. I mean, I've taken a lot of mushrooms.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But it was like I wasn't expecting that. I was like, well, this is not what I signed up for, to explore the depths of the universe casually on this. Like that's the thing about psychedelics. Was thankful for the experience, but like it's like I definitely think you have to be in like the proper headspace, and I definitely think it's not for everyone.
Feeling calm and all of that.
Can I tell you that I had a friend have a seizure on mushrooms when we did mushrooms together?
That's so scary.
Yeah, and I didn't, and I think that's like something that people should know.
Any kind of injury on hallucinogens is like a fear of mine. Like, you know, if you get hurt. I had a friend who like fell and hit his head when he was on mushrooms.
Okay.
Oh, why?
I wasn't with him, but just the story was like horrifying.
It is like you do need to like be like an adult about the situation, because I've been in situations where it's like, well, none of this is a good idea. Like, why would any of us be acting like this?
Literally, that's what happened in my situation. I can't even.
I was like, this was poorly executed all around. Like, I should have thought this out better, having all these different types of people in this space.
No. I went to a beach in California that was a beautiful beach, and I remember on the way to the beach, we were looking up the reviews, and it was like 4-star reviews, and it was like 98 positive reviews, and then there was one negative review. And we're like, who would give this beach a negative review? It's a perfect beach. And when we were leaving the beach, we were like, we ruined that beach. Like, no one will ever. It was like the girl got sick. There was diarrhea and shit everywhere. Like, we had to leave everything there. We had to leave everything there because it had so much shit on it. We couldn't drag it across the beach in front of everyone.
Kim, your room is perfect for this. I mean, the only place where I trip mushrooms is in my bedroom by myself. It's like I turn on my black lights. I have all my tapestries.
Really?
I close
you
my
have black
eyes,
lights and tapestries?
and it's the most beautiful thing ever. And I just like lay back. I put the craziest shit I could find on TV.
Like what? Like what?
Like Off the Air, Adult Swim.
Okay. I like this vibe that you're painting. I want to be a part of it.
It's really, I literally lay back in my bed because I'll get nauseous from mushrooms sometimes, but like I'll prevent it. I'll put a heating pad under me and lay back in my bed with like
This
all
bitch
my.
has done this before. I just got very specific mushroom etiquette, you guys.
This is the way that I trip, and it has really been fantastic for my like mental health. I swear.
And how often do you do it?
Well, I starting like last August up through December, I was doing it once every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, so were you taking it in like regular size amounts, or were you microdosing with it?
I was taking between 1.5 and 2.5 grams, depending on just how hard I wanted to trip.
That's insane.
I was like in a really dark place like earlier, and I was like, I'm gonna.
Was
try
it help?
You were doing hella mushrooms every
hella mushrooms to get myself out. Yeah, and I really feel like a lot better. And then the last time I tripped was the night of my birthday, which was January 15th. I like literally blasted off to outer space. It was incredible, and I haven't tripped since. But I think I'm going to again soon because I feel like I've taken an appropriate length break that I could say like I don't have a problem with them, and I don't feel like I have
a mushroom problem. I feel like
adverse mental effects. Like,
well, it's just interesting because it's like it's still, even though it's a mushroom and it's like an ancient thing, it's still like it in modern science. It's just now people are like, oh, maybe this could be useful for something.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
alternative types of like plant medicine. It's just really interesting that it hasn't been done before, because it's like, there's Pepto-Bismol, but there's like this shit that's coming out of the ground that's like people eat and they see some shit. No one's looked into that. Seems weird.
Well, being researched for PTSD.
Yeah.
So, and when I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna try this. Like, I want to like see if I could like calm my anxieties and shit like
it's
that.
so strange that you
I've
don't
heard
hear
that
anything
too.
about these drugs, because like even like with almost all of the hallucinogens, there are stories like with DMT. I listened to hours of DMT podcasts before I tried it. Like I was really nervous. I like really researched, and they have stories like of that they used to use DMT for like as a research for like grieving mothers that would lose their children, and they would like skip like years of the grieving process through DMT, like
that's
years
what's
consistently,
crazy.
and then the government shut it down.
Well, yeah, that's what's,
Yo,
it's
fuck
just,
the government and their opinion on drugs.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, for real. Amen to that, sister.
Amen. I'll pray to that one. Sarah finger clicked me just now.
I just went. Look, I'm like a.
I like.
We've sounded like insane people on this podcast.
Well,
I mean, but
we are.
what was kind of awesome is that Sarah and I just met each other for the first time like 20 minutes before this, and could pretty much agree on all of this insanely bizarre stuff. Is kind of cool.
Yes.
To like be in a room of people who like you could who like sincerely believe all this crazy shit. I enjoy that.
Yeah, me too.
I just think it's
So
like,
there's
I think
more
if you're
than-
like a
yeah.
smart person that's like looking for answers for shit, it's in like not just take a bunch of drugs and see some shit that's not real. Like it's not really about that, but I do think that like
There's something about letting go and like
and being able to just like see just keep your mind open to different things, I guess.
Have you guys ever
it's so hard to explain.
Is this an inspirational
Have you guys
podcast now?
seen-
I'm like, and keep your mind open to different things. What?
Have you guys ever seen this video on YouTube called "Imagining the 10th Dimension"? It's like
shit.
I
don't know.
Like
That sounds
about 10 minutes long, and like literally everybody listening should watch it. It is like so worth the watch, whether or
write
not
this
you
down.
believe in like any
exploring
of this kind of stuff. But like imagining the 10th dimension, it takes you through like literally like building the dimensions one upon the next in a cohesive way. So
I
that
need
you
to know
could
about this.
actually sort of visualize
cool.
what each dimension means, and like what it means, like 6th dimension versus 7th dimension. I'm literally not. I'm so high I can't explain it.
No,
at
you're
all.
I
explaining it
know
perfectly.
we're tracking.
But it's literally incredible, and I think that like tripping kind of, I don't know, tripping for me always kind of like feeds into this like idea of there just being like so much out there that we don't really know about, that it's all kind of melding together.
And it's so funny, like, don't you feel like when you trip that you just, I feel like every time I trip, I'm like, oh, I found a secret to the universe. And then when I come back, I don't remember it. It's kind of like,
It's
You
like
don't-
it
you
is
don't
like
remember it, but you remember like the feeling of it.
yeah, but you
Well-
also remember like little parts of it, like, oh, everything's connected.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how I saw that.
like yeah, you just come back with like these randomly profound bits of knowledge,
And then
you're
you
like,
have
oh,
these
yeah.
stories, and then you have these stories, like when I trip, I have like these stories that I imagine, and it almost feels like you're making it up because it was such a different place you were in. It feels
It
like
se- it
feels like
does,
you were a
it
kid
does.
playing pretend.
But the
Yeah, that's why I
connections that
like
you
it.
make.
Yeah, that's why you like it.
Because it's like it makes you like be so present in the moment, because literally like you have no choice but to be, because if you're not present in the moment, it doesn't end well.
I mean, the connections that you make are like insane. A couple months ago, I was tripping super duper hard and listening to the audio of Rick and Morty while searching video of
I like that. I like this.
the video that I was searching was just like literally YouTube searches for trippiest videos ever, and just
I love
watching
looking
that.
up shit like that when I'm high.
And I'm listening to Rick and Morty, and like when I tell you, like I was sitting there thinking to myself, like,
Okay, wait. You paired. This is what I do too. I pair music with cartoons.
I pair
Betty Boop.
I pair the audio from the cartoons to like some trippy visual, because then you get to kind of follow a story.
Oh,
It's really fun.
fuck.
And then really
shit.
silly lines come up out of nowhere, and
Okay.
you laugh your ass off. It's really
It's
great.
so fun. Like that's
It's
like
a-
my
it's a weird
favorite
way to
thing
do
to
it.
do.
It's great.
I want to try it that way.
Try it that way.
But,
It's
like,
fucking awesome.
You have
guys
to
are
try.
fucking
You have
crazy.
to try Betty Boop, like old Betty Boop videos.
I
with
love old cartoons when I'm tripping.
with Nicholas Jar music. Just do that.
I will try that if you try it my way as
Yeah.
well, for sure.
okay,
Yeah.
so Sarah and Alex are gonna scissor later. You
We're
guys,
gonna-
But
they're
way that-
hooking up.
the way that things sync up, like I sit there and I'm thinking to myself, like, I know how heavily I'm on drugs right now, and still it's uncanny
Honestly,
how
but
much
it's still
everything is
fun not
matching
on
up.
drugs.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense that it's not just the drugs, like everything is literally matching up perfectly.
But
Yeah.
it's still. I will say though,
It's weird.
even if I smoke weed and do it, it's like, wow, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But also, like, does your brain see what it wants to see? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm wondering too. And
I mean,
I guess that'll always be a mystery.
I suppose it will.
okay, I need to do my makeup.
Yeah, you guys, we should wrap up. So
gotta-
yeah, it's really cool, Sarah, that we got to bring you on here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So
Yeah.
exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank
Sarah is
you.
we're going to be traveling and seeing each other more often. So we are going to continue to do Stone Science. I know that you guys haven't seen the podcast episodes come out in a while.
Yeah, we were just adjusting, recalibrating, but yeah, we're
So
gonna
keep a lookout for Stone Science. You can find it in the same place you find THC.
Same
Yay,
feed.
Those
Stone
high chicks.
Science.
Yeah, so check us out, iTunes, and
and our web series is coming out soon.
oh yeah, our web series,
Our experiment series, supplement
Stone Science TV.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
So look
It's
for
gonna be
that.
so cool, you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see it. We've been working on it for so long.
Where are you guys storing the
And-
beakers?
Huh?
Where are you storing
in
the
my
beakers?
in my storage unit that I've turned into a prop house now. I was gonna get rid of it, but now I'm like, I'm just gonna keep weird shit in there. So it's just like a bunch of random shit that I got for different random art projects. It's like fucking crazy in there. I was like, whatever. Now I have a prop house, and this is where I'll just keep everything.
It's
Sometimes
so
you need
exciting,
it.
though.
Well, it's better than having to buy a bunch of shit all the time.
Yeah.
True.
You're like, whatever. I feel like we're always doing some weird thing or some weird project. It's like,
Yeah.
It
it's always
sounds like
happening.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Sarah, where can people find you?
find me. Whoa, I think I can talk. Find me on Twitter at Princess Shank. Princess like normal, and then another SHENK. And I post my show dates on there. I don't know when this will come out, but just check on there. And then same on Instagram, and look out for my new podcast, Shank, SHENK.
Fuck yeah.
It's coming soon. I don't know. Okay, bye. Thank you.
You can find me on.
Are you just like Did you just start my sentence? That was I don't even know. That was so strange.
Just do yours.
Yeah, guys, follow me on Instagram, I guess. I'm intern Skrillex on Instagram.
Intern_Skrillex, aren't you?
Intern_Skrillex on Instagram. I feel like my Instagram is just like more poppin' than my Twitter. So
Yeah, fuck yeah. Follow intern
yeah.
_Skrillex on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, Instagram Kim Congdon for show dates. And yeah, keep a lookout for Stone Science and keep listening to the podcasts.
yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.